Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Imani and I love all things planner and self-care related. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss new content. So I am just in shock that it's basically March already. So what we're going to do in this video is flip through February spreads, of course plan for March, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of what was going on in February because it was a lot, and I feel like I learned some important lessons. So let's get started. So I think it would be an understatement to say that February did not go as planned, y'all. It did not go as planned. Whether it be physically planned or in this planner or just in life in general, it was definitely a surprising month for me. As you can see, I didn't even keep up with this. I don't even use this sticky note as a habit tracker. I just used it as like another calendar option. I didn't even keep up with that. So I think that should give you a clear indication of what the month was like for me, which was hectic. Okay, so first of all, I still have January in my half letter. I don't know why I kept it here. There's really no rhyme or reason to it, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think I just really forgot to take it out. And this girl is thick. I mean, she is, it might not seem super thick, but you can feel, the weight of extra inserts or just dashboards in here. So I think I'm gonna clean out January, and I don't know, maybe I'll keep February in there. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I didn't go back to reference January inserts at all throughout February. So of course, like, I will reference the previous month's insert when I'm planning for the next month. So when I'm planning for March, I'll look at February inserts, but that's it. After I plan March, I don't go back to look through February at all. So I don't know why I would keep them in there. If you have a disc setup or a ring setup, let me know in the comment box whether you keep your old inserts in there or not. I know some people change them out quarterly, but I think I'm just gonna stick to monthly. Okay, so here is February. As you can see, I did pretty okay with habit tracking, but this did not look like this about a week ago. It was very bare, and I had to go back and think about what I did the previous week. So it was like around maybe the 14th or the 15th when I realized that I needed to go back and do the 6th through the 13th. So I did that around Monday or Tuesday, and then I did okay, and then I forgot. So then the 20th I went back to do the previous days. So it's not something that I'm checking regularly, and I really need to do that. I really do. As you can see, some goals went really well, others did not. I did journal a little bit more than I did in January, and I consider that to be a plus, right? Like, that's something that we can celebrate. I definitely started the month off strong, and I just think by the time the 6th came, it was a wrap. So on the 6th, I had a doctor's appointment, and it didn't go as planned, and I just learned like some surprising news. So then I had to wait for test results for a week, and I was a wreck. I was a complete wreck, and there was no amount of self-care or anything that could just help me get out of the funk that I was in while I was waiting on the test results. And I'm fine, like the test results came back fine, but it was just, it really showed me that I have a lot of work to do as far as not letting stress or anxiety get me down, because that was a very long week. It was a very long week. I didn't go to the gym, or I think I might have gone once, but just was not feeling it. I went the Saturday of the week of the 6th, so whatever that date is, and I wasn't feeling it at all. I was a completely different person. But like I said, it's a lesson for me that there's always room to grow in self-care. And I hate that it took, medical anxiety to show me a different area of growth or area of opportunity, but it is what it is. So I'm glad that that fiasco is over. I don't have to worry about that now. But as far as, like I said in the beginning, as far as February is concerned, it did not go as planned at all. So as you can see, I did complete some of the to-dos. I squiggle out the tasks that I cancel. So I canceled my business taxes. I didn't finish them, but I did start my personal taxes. So at least I'm making some progress there. I canceled out updates because I got a letter from the state, so I need to respond to that. But I did complete some tasks, just not all. And that's okay. I'm showing myself some grace because of just how February went. I really don't reference this page, and in fact, I don't know if I'm gonna plan this for March because I don't use it, and you know that I've been struggling with the monthly layout. If you've been following me, you know I can't figure out how to do this and make it work for me. So this is I guess technically the first week of February, very bare. I didn't really plan a bunch. I just had a lot going on personally, not in a bad way, just, you know, a lot of things to do. And this is the week of the doctor's appointment, so that was on the 6th. So I didn't even plan anything, y'all. So that's how you know it was a stressful week. But I did get the test results on the 13th. So as you can see, look, it was completely filled out. I even took notes on this planner, which I really don't do. So this is just me brainstorming the email newsletter for Monday the 20th, which I think actually went out the 21st. So, you know, I love paper planning because, again, it just shows really an outlook on, you know, how life went. And when I look at my inserts at the end of the year, I'll be able to say like, wow, what was going on the week of the 6th that I just didn't do anything? And I'm pretty sure I'll be able to remember. So this is the current week, the week of the 20th. We had President's Day off, or I did at least. I accomplished quite a few goals, just not as many as I wanted to. I did not make it to the gym this week because it was just a tiring week, that's for sure. I always struggle with 4-day work weeks. I love having a day off, but it feels tougher. There's always more work when you go back, so it almost makes it not worth it, but it is what it is. And yeah, that was February. So what I'm gonna do is clean out January and February inserts, and then I'm gonna rearrange some dashboards just to liven things up a bit. And we're gonna come back and plan for March. Okay, so I have the inserts I'm going to plan with here. Let me get my laptop open. As I mentioned in last month's video, I think for February's Plan With Me, I pre-plan digitally. So anytime I learn of an event or a meeting or something happening in the upcoming month, I add it to my calendar immediately. So then that way I can use it to plan for the upcoming month in my paper planner. So I'm pulling up Google Calendar because your girl's a Google person. Okay, so I know what I have to do. I think I forgot to add one meeting, so let's do that quickly. Okay, so I don't even know where I want to start. I think I want to start with my March to-dos, then we'll do the gratitude, the habit tracker, and the week. So definitely gonna be a little bit of a longer video, but I love just planning and talking these out with you all. So I hope you enjoy them too. So let's write March up here. Timber just hopped off of my bed. I don't know if you heard his tip taps across the floor. March 2023. Obviously it's 2023. And then do we want to write to do? I don't think I'm going to write to do. So instead what I'm going to write is just a few tasks that I want to complete in March. Okay, so our March to-do list is done. I'm grabbing a highlighter from my stash. Not a lot planned for March so far. I mean, I do have a few things that I want to get scheduled in the month of March. For example, a hair appointment and a second nail appointment. As you can see, I got my nails done recently, but I broke this nail at the gym and it was bleeding. So when I went back to get the rest of these done, this wasn't completely healed yet. So I had to leave it and it finally healed up. So I'm excited to get that done, but I want to make sure I schedule another appointment for the end of March. And there's just other few things that I have to do, like get my passport renewed. I live in New York, so our older licenses don't work to travel domestically. So I want to see about getting my enhanced license so I don't have to use my passport to go to Florida, which would be silly in my opinion. So a few things to do, nothing major, which after the month I had in February, I am okay with having a calmer March. In fact, I'm actually begging for it at this point. I did not even touch my daily gratitude log in February. It's not that I didn't say things that I was grateful for. In fact, I kind of had an evening routine when I was laying in bed, just thinking about the day. I would say a few things that I was grateful for, especially during the week that I was waiting for those test results. It was like self-care every minute of the day, right? Like just trying to shift my mindset and not focus on anything negative. So I just didn't write down the gratitude that I thought about, which, you know, I hate wasting inserts, but I think what I want to do is really work on carving out time to sit down in the mornings and not just open my planner to see what's going on, but actually planning it. This has just been so busy at work that sometimes I open my planner and I don't plan in it, right? So I open it, see what's going on for the day, and then I'm heading off to work. So it's been a really busy time in life, and I'm just hoping that March is kind to me. I just want some kindness. So we'll write March 2023 up there using my handy and trusty beige highlighter. Wow, that bled really bad. It doesn't normally bleed that bad, y'all. I don't know if you can see this pretty well. Let me make sure I move it up and down. I'm so annoyed. Oh, that's annoying. It is what it is. Let's move on before we forget about it or get too upset about it. So I started reviewing and auditing my self-care habits earlier today, which is Saturday. If you haven't heard already, I released a self-care audit ebook, just going through the steps that I use to audit my self-care. And something that I realized is that I do a really bad job of just planning too much and going above and beyond to try to achieve each and every habit and goal that I set for myself. And I think that sets me up for failure because I'm trying to change and achieve too much. So what I'm going to do here is only write down 2 or 3 goals that I really want to track and I really want to focus on. So then that way I'm not being overwhelmed or just looking at, the tracker and giving up. I just want to focus on 2 to 3 goals this next month that I really want to achieve and put my all into those goals. So we're still going to call this self-care habits, maybe. Let's see. One of the questions in the ebook talks about, are you setting yourself up for failure? Are you overachieving? Are you trying to do too much? And, I put that question in there because that's me, right? That's something that I was definitely struggling with. I just tried to accomplish too much at one time. And I think if I just focus on 2 to 3 habits, or maybe even 1 to 3 habits, I think I will have more success in March. So we're going to see. This is March, the month of March. And then I think March starts on Wednesday. So right in the middle of the work week, which is interesting. Yep, starts on Wednesday. So I'll be back. I will write the dates for each of the days of March. So here is the February habit tracker for self-care, I was tracking way too much. For example, I don't need to track business tasks because, to be honest with you, like, I do pretty well with that. That's probably my strongest goal if we're being 100% honest, right? So I don't need to track that, but there are a few tasks or habits rather that I really want to improve upon and just get better with achieving. So that is reading. I have just fallen behind on reading. What I have started doing though is listening to way more podcasts. So I listen to a podcast every day, sometimes like twice, 3 times a day. So I like to switch up podcasts sometimes, listen to audiobooks. So I'm doing okay with that. And that has sort of like sparked this interest in reading again, but I could do better. And I don't listen to an audiobook every day. So one task or habit rather that I'll focus on in March will be reading. I really want to focus on a different area of self-care. So for me, reading is more like mental self-care because, you're just like expanding your vocabulary. But it also could be categorized as like emotional self-care. I mean, it could fall into a couple different areas, right? I mean, if you're listening to an audiobook or reading about finances, it could be financial self-care. So it all depends on, what's going on in your life at the moment. So I really want to also get back to being as diligent as I was about vitamins. So I'm going to write vitamins. So we have mental self-care, physical self-care, because that's all about health, in my opinion. And, what do I want to do? You know what? I'm going to write daily check-in. I write that because I really want to get back to sitting in my planner and planning in it every day, even if it's just checking the habit tracker. So for me, that's what a daily check-in would represent. I hope this doesn't bleed again. Let me just test it here. Look at that. Ugh, I'm so annoyed, but at least it got clean again. I will highlight March and self-care habits. And you know what? This is definitely different for me, but I think I'm gonna leave it at these 3. I'm happy with that. You know what though? Okay, one more. I know I said 1 to 3, but I want to get back into stretching regularly. Stretching. Okay, we're gonna leave it at 4. We're not going to add to it. We're not going to overdo it. We're going to focus on those 4. So reading, vitamins. Let's write it on the back as well. For once, I don't have a lot going on this week. I don't have a single meeting, no appointments, and I am okay with that. I want to just sort of come inward and just focus on me for the week, and I'm fine with that. But what I will do is write a to-do list and leave the rest of the week blank so that I can, pull from this weekly to-do list and then add any to-dos that come up throughout the week, which tends to happen. So let me write a quick list over here. So here is my to-do list for the week. Pretty bare and straightforward and simple. I am not complaining. There are certain priorities though here. We are almost to April, so I really do need to stop procrastinating on my taxes. they're just not fun. There's nothing fun about taxes, and I just have to get over that. So I'm going to highlight taxes because that's something that I do want to focus on this week and try to get ahead so I'm not rushing in April. Okay, good. I didn't want this to bleed over. That New York State letter I want to address ASAP. I want to make a transfer to Ally. I need to follow up on an email. I think I mentioned last time that I'm helping to plan a gala, and I need to follow up on an email for that. And then email about the board. I sit on a nonprofit board of directors or trustees, and I need to email a prospective member. So those are the tasks for the upcoming week. I am not upset with this, y'all. I need this time to just regroup and just get reorganized, recommitted to my goals for the year. So I'm excited to take the time this week to do that. I'm just gonna highlight the week up here in the calendar as well. And this is it. This is perfect for me. So I'm going to put these inserts back into my planner. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and ask, whether that be in the comments or DMs on Instagram, whatever platform you find me on, that's fine with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.